This is the Intercontinental Broadcasting Corporation. Sa Bagong Pilipinas.
Good evening. This is 13 News.
Let's get into the headlines right now. Tonight, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will be meeting Russian President Vladimir Putin for bilateral talks.
Another Senate shakeup. Win Gatchalian is the new Senate president, with Tito Soto as pro tempore following a special session.
Breaking tonight, resigned Ateneo coach Tab Baldwin is placed on an immigration lookout bulletin ordered issued by the Justice Department.
Good stuff tonight. A market in Pasig City becomes the first satellite-powered free Wi-Fi in the country.
And in news abroad, football superstar Lionel Messi scores historic hat trick in FIFA World Cup.
All these and more, here on 13 News.
In just a few moments, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. will sit down with Russian President Vladimir Putin for a bilateral meeting in Kazan.
The talk aims to elevate 50 years of diplomatic relations between the Philippines and Russia. President Marcos Jr. said discussions will zero in on concrete areas of mutual interest.
With the Middle East crisis disrupting supply chains, Russia could play a key role in helping the Philippines secure oil and food. And tonight, President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is ready to seal a deal on energy supply, food security, as well as deepen bilateral relations with Russia.
The president is also on the forefront to discuss efforts to further regional partnership as chair at the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit. IBC correspondent Harley Valbuena has the details.
President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. is now in Russia for his participation at the ASEAN-Russia Commemorative Summit. This marks his first trip to Russia and almost 50 years since his father, former President Ferdinand E. Marcos Sr., visited the then Soviet Union. As ASEAN chair for this year, the president will lead fellow ASEAN leaders for a dialogue with Russian President Vladimir Putin. And among those to be discussed are cooperation on peace and security, trade and investment, food and energy security, science and technology, digital transformation, education, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges.
As chair of ASEAN, the Philippines is committed to ensuring that this commemorative summit produces substantive and forward-looking outcomes that deepen ASEAN's strategic partnership with Russia and contribute in concrete terms to regional peace, stability, and shared prosperity.
President Marcos Jr. is also set to have a bilateral meeting with President Putin to elevate the 50-year diplomatic relations of the two countries.
That milestone opened an enduring chapter in Philippines-Russia relations grounded in mutual respect, dialogue, and cooperation. Our discussions will focus on concrete areas of mutual interest, particularly energy and food security.
Philippine Ambassador to Moscow, Igor Bailen, said Russia could potentially help the Philippines in securing oil supply and even food amid the Middle East crisis.
We know that recently we were able to import Russian oil for the first time since 2019. So energy security is going to figure, I think, in the discussion. Food security also, because Russians are interested in Philippine seafood, and Filipinos are interested in Russian meats.
The chief executive is also expected to promote the welfare and protection of around 15,000 Filipinos in Russia who are mostly on the services sector. Under ASEAN 2026 team, Navigating Our Future Together, the Philippines will push for ASEAN centrality along with open and inclusive rules-based regional architecture anchored in international law. While the chief executive is in Russia, Executive Secretary Ralph Recto, Agrarian Reform Secretary Conrado Estrella III, and Labor Secretary Secretary Francis Tolentino will serve as government caretakers. Harley Valbuena, IBC News.
In other news, resigned Ateneo coach Tab Baldwin has been placed on Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order or ILBO over the deaths of the two Ateneo student athletes. This as authorities say the case is no longer viewed as a simple drowning incident. IBC News correspondent Patrick Cupo has the report.
Be man enough to face the investigation.
This was the challenge of CIDG Director Police Major General Robert Morico II to Ateneo head coach Thomas Tab Baldwin as investigators deepened their probe into the drowned deaths of student athletes Rene Baterbonia and Divine Adili in Dipaculao, Aurora. Authorities say the case is no longer being viewed as a simple drowning incident, with investigators now examining whether criminal liability may have been involved. Initial findings show the incident did not take place in front of the resort, but rather hundreds of meters away where strong water currents were present.
The incident did not actually happen in front of the resort. It was about 300 to 700 meters away. The recovery effort was only 300 meters near the resort because they were swept by the current.
According to players who appeared in today's CIDG probe, they were performing walking and stationary jogging exercises in the sea on that day. Investigators are examining now is why the training exercises have to be conducted in the water despite the area's uneven shoreline and known strong currents. So far, authorities say they have found no evidence that weights were attached to the players or that their feet were restricted. The CIDG is currently looking at two possible legal angles, which are homicide or hazing. Tonight, the Department of Justice has issued an Immigration Lookout Bulletin Order against former Ateneo Blue Eagle men's basketball head coach Thomas Anthony Tab Baldwin and 4 others in connection with the ongoing investigation into the deaths of 2 student athletes. DOJ Secretary Frederick Vida said the order was signed due to the seriousness of the allegations. Aside from Baldwin, the ILBO also covers former team manager and assistant coaches who were all identified in the early stages of the probe.
Let me emphasize that an ILBO is a monitoring mechanism. It is intended to alert authorities should the subjects attempt to travel abroad while the investigation is ongoing. It is not by itself a restriction on travel nor a finding of liability.
Patrick Gupo, IBC News.
The Armed Forces of the Philippines has confirmed that the spotted Chinese floating structures in Bajo de Masinloc have been removed. The AFP assured that the Philippine Navy regularly conducts maritime domain awareness patrols to ensure the security of the BDM. It added how the incident may have military implications, citing the research Chinese military base in the area. AFP said it is implementing diplomacy to address the foreign entities along the Philippine territory. Meanwhile, tonight, the AW-109 aircraft has docked at the BRP Jegosilang to support the maritime cooperative activity between the country and the U.S.
World oil prices continue to slide down as promise of a calmer Middle East continued to allay fears of a global oil crisis. World crude oil price drops to just below $79 per barrel for the 5th straight session. Ezra Abad reports.
World oil prices fell below $80 per barrel for the first time in 3 months, following the promise of peace between the United States and Iran, helping to allay fears of a global oil crisis and restoring confidence among investors and consumers. Since the deal announcement, Brent crude fell on an average of $79 per barrel, while WTI crude or West Texas Intermediate is at $76 per barrel in today's trading. Just before the start of the U.S.-led war in Iran, global crude oil prices averaged roughly at $60 to $67 per barrel for Brent crude. It was on February 28 when the conflict between U.S. and Israel against Iran began with missile strikes on Iran's supposed nuclear weapons facility. This led to Iran's blockade of the Strait of Hormuz, where millions of tons of oil passed through, was blocked and oil prices worldwide began to surge. Oil prices began surging to over $120 per barrel after hostilities commenced, severely limiting supplies through critical shipping lanes at the blockade of the Strait of Hormuz. As for the Philippines, political analyst Froilan Calilong says the peace deal will not automatically translate to lower pump prices in the country.
Hindi ito kaagad-agad magre-resulta sa instant stabilization. It will take several months before domestic pump prices normalize to pre-war levels. Pero ang maganda kasi dito is that yung escalation ng kaguluhan is medyo na-resolve na.
On the other hand, Filipinos working abroad, merchant ships or seamen, are expected to have greater job continuity for ensuring more stable employment. Calilong also said the Philippine government may provide manpower to help rebuild damaged oil infrastructure in the Middle East, showcasing the country's role as a reliable partner in rebuilding and development.
Yung rebuilding ng infrastructures na sinabanggit ko kanina, that will require a lot of manpower, that will require additional human capital, which of course we have and we could offer to the Middle East. Magandang panukala on the part of the government that we provide this much needed human resources to these war-torn areas.
Ezra Abad, IBC News.
Pasig Mega Market is making history, becoming the country's first public market powered by satellite-based free Wi-Fi, a move that's speeding up the shift to cashless commerce. Cashless transactions, quick QR payments at the Pasig Mega Market are made more accessible with the new satellite-powered internet. The free Wi-Fi service ensures vendors can complete digital transactions smoothly while allowing consumers to pay digitally with no downtime. This helps customers pay faster, encouraging more people to embrace cashless shopping. Officials say the project is part of a broader push to modernize public markets, empower small businesses, and make everyday commerce more convenient for Filipinos. Pasig Mega Market is proving that even traditional markets can go digital, bringing the future of cashless trade closer to home. The low-pressure area being monitored outside the Philippine Area of Responsibility is expected to enter PAR this Sunday, according to Pag-asa. It was last located 2,700 kilometers east of eastern Visayas. The LPA has a medium chance of developing into a tropical depression within the next 24 hours. In the meantime, easterlies will persist to affect southern Luzon, Visayas, and the eastern section of Mindanao, bringing occasional rains and cloudy skies. Meanwhile, Metro Manila and the rest of the country will continue to experience partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers due to localized thunderstorms. We have more stories coming up when we return. This is 13 News.
Flavors worth craving. Stories made to inspire. Restaurant every Friday at 4 p.m. on IBC 13. Pangarap mong maging milyonaryo? Sa PCSO Lotto, magkakatotoo. Mas pinasaya, mas pinabongga, mas pinalaki ang mga jackpot prizes. Araw-araw ang bola, kaya more chances of winning sa PCSO Lottery Draws. Lunes hanggang Linggo, tuwing 2 p.m., 5 p.m., and 9 p.m.
Bagong Pilipinas. Mahalaga ang kapakanan ng bawat isa. Lahat ng aspeto ng lipunan pinagtutuunan ng pansin ng pamahalaan at ni Pangulong Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr. Bagong Pilipinas, PBBM, Lingkod ng Bayan. Tuwing Linggo, alas 8:30 ng umaga.
What is the big vision here?
Hard-hitting.
Migration is a choice and not a necessity.
The goal of IOM and the goal of the Marcos government is really to make migration a choice. But is that a realistic aspiration, or is it more of like just a positive spin?
Critical.
How did this affect the people in Bahrain?
An OFW has no job security.
In-depth. Catch the Commission on Filipinos Overseas Chairman Dante Cling-Ang as he uncovers key initiatives shaping public welfare and national development. Chairman's Report, every Friday at 7 p.m.
Sabi nila, bawal maligo pag pagod. Sabi nila, huwag matulog kapag basa ang buhok. Pero,
Doc, true ba?
sa dami ng impormasyon sa internet, alin ang dapat paniwalaan at alin nga ba ang dapat kalimutan? Kasama ang OPA host, Jerome San, at ang pambato sa medisina, Dr. Cel Martinez. This season, mas pinalakas ang team with pharma expert Natalia Austria para sagutin ang katanungan sa tamang paggamit ng gamot. Doc, true ba? Every Sunday, 7:30 a.m. on IBC 13.
The Senate leadership dispute has finally been resolved as Senator Sherwin Gatchalian was officially elected as the new Senate President. Under the new leadership, the Senate immediately performed its duties, including naming new committee chairpersons during the Congress's special session. The full report from IBC News correspondent Victor Liantino.
Senator Win Gatchalian formally took oath as Senate President after the chamber secured a quorum, with Senator Joel Villanueva joining the majority bloc and its 13th member. The move ends week of turmoil in the Senate leadership, making Gatchalian the 5th Senate President under President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s administration.
Kita naman natin na tuloy-tuloy yung trabaho. In fact, yung mga bills na matagal nang nakabinbin ay natakal ngayon. Ganyan talaga dapat mangyari, trabaho na. We will reach out to the minority, hindi naman to majority.
He's the leader that the Senate needs in this time of division and disarray. And he has done this before.
You have seen how I work today. I'm almost on the floor.
Sir, nakausap kayo sa Nalan?
Senator Alan. Yes, I did.
Kumusta yung...
Kumusta kayo, sir? Brothers, we're brothers at the end of the day.
Kaya nagpapasalamat din ako kay Senator Joel Villanueva for joining us in putting the household of the Senate back in order.
Malacanang also congratulated Senate President Gatchalian, expressing full support for the upper chamber's leadership transition. Senators also elected Tito Soto as Senate President pro tempore, Juan Miguel Zubiri as Majority Leader, and Alan Cayetano as Minority Leader. Senator Erwin Tulfo now chairs the powerful Blue Ribbon Committee, with Senators Ping Lacson and Kiko Pangilinan as Vice Chairs. Senator Alan Cayetano officially stepped down as Senate President, saying he respects the mandate of the majority. He said he has no resentful feelings towards his colleagues who shifted alliance. Although group of Alan Cayetano was absent during the voting, they later attended the afternoon session on the Commission on Appointments, emphasizing that public service must not be sacrificed for political issues.
We in the minority, as I remain to be in the minority, will collaborate for the good of the Filipino people.
With the Senate back to work, the Commission on Appointments officially confirmed the nomination of 5 generals of the Armed Forces of the Philippines as well as 85 foreign service officials from the Department of Foreign Affairs. On another development, the Department of Justice declared that the Senate was not under attack during the intense May 13 incident. According to the prosecution panel, the actions taken by the Senate office and the Sergeant at Arms, which resulted in gunfire, were completely unacceptable.
The findings of the panel were based on evidence submitted by the PNP CIDG, members of the media, and the GSIS, including an ocular inspection of the GSIS premises.
The Department of Justice also issued a stern warning that any individual who assisted Senator Ronald Bato de la Rosa in escaping will be held liable. Victor Liantino, IBC News.
The House of Representatives also held a special session following President Ferdinand R. Marcos Jr.'s directive to fast-track the passage of key priority bills. Amid concerns surrounding the proposed anti-political dynasty bill, House Majority Leader Sandro Marcos clarified that the current draft is neither final nor law. He said the House still intends to refine the measure before it is submitted to President Marcos Jr. for signing.
Should you make that bill stricter and more constrictive, nawawala yung suporta ng lower house. Hindi namin yan ginawa dahil yan ang gusto namin na ipasa na bill. Ginawa namin yan because that was the limit as to the support that we could garner from the lower chamber.
Meanwhile, Sandro Marcos and House Speaker Faustino Boji D. III also welcomed the election of Senator Sherwin Gatchalian as Senate President and expressed their preparedness to work with him. D said he looks forward to working with Gatchalian, especially on measures aimed at economic growth and public service. A bill seeking a 15 billion peso supplemental budget to support relief, recovery, and rehabilitation efforts in earthquake-hit areas of Mindanao has been filed in the House of Representatives. Under House Bill 9887, filed by Lanao del Sur, 1st District Representative Zia Alonto Adyong, 1 billion pesos would be allocated each to the Department of Agriculture and the Department of Education, while 1.5 billion pesos each would go to the DSWD and DOH. Another 2 billion pesos is proposed for the Department of Human Settlements and Urban Development and the National Housing Authority. The bill also sets aside funds for the DPWH, LGUs, state universities and colleges, power restoration, transport facilities, and the repair of damaged infrastructure.
Meanwhile, Puerto Galera has been placed under a state of calamity yesterday due to a worsening water shortage brought by El Nino. Local officials have gathered yesterday at the mayor's office to hold the Municipal Development and Municipal Disaster Risk Reduction and Management Full Council meeting. This is to realign funds to speed up response efforts and implement measures to address and solve the ongoing water crisis. Meanwhile, Puerto Galera's Municipal Tourism Office released a statement saying that tourist spots and attractions remain open and fully operational.
The beloved animated film Toy Story is back after 7 years. The widely loved character Woody and the gang returns to face a new adventure against gadgets and electronic devices. Filipino fans can now watch Toy Story 5 in cinemas nationwide.
Tonight, the PBA Season 50 Commissioner's Cup Finals is coming to an end as Barangay Ginebra and TNT Tropang 5G are facing off in a do-or-die Game 7. Both teams are currently competing in the fourth quarter as Ginebra leads with a scoreboard of 75-69. And Filipino athlete EJ Obiena started his 2026 outdoor season in style after winning the silver medal at the Flight Circus Dusseldorf in Germany. Obiena cleared 5.74 meters after 2 tries, finishing behind American athlete Chris Nilsson, who cleared 5.83 meters on a single attempt. The two-time Olympian is now setting his sights for the first Diamond League of the season in Doha, Qatar on June 19. Football superstar Lionel Messi delivered his first ever historic hat trick, sending Argentina to a 3-0 victory against Algeria in the FIFA World Cup. Messi's sensational performance breaks multiple all-time records, including securing the tie with Miroslav Klose for having the most goals at the World Cup. The Guinness World Records already commemorates Messi for all-time records in his spectacular career.
Just a week after a powerful earthquake hit the Philippines, Indonesians gripped the aftermath of a 6.7 magnitude quake that struck the region. Meanwhile, the group of 7 wealthy nations concluded its summit tonight. This and other developments across the globe from Holy Bakay's report.
Tonight, leaders of the group of 7 member states wrap up the 3-day summit with talks focusing on artificial intelligence. Head of leading AI companies attended the forum, including OpenAI CEO Sam Altman. One of the notable discussions sought this year's meeting is the ongoing Russian invasion in Ukraine, as well as the US and Iran nuclear deal. In Indonesia, students at a university scrambled to exit the building when a 6.7 earthquake struck. The powerful quake damaged several establishments, displacing hundreds of residents. Massive cracks have also appeared along the Palu-Napu highway. The death toll still stands at 1, with 38 others injured. In Delaware, USA, a 23-year-old man opened fire at the Wilmington hospital. 2 workers were shot, one of them died. Initial investigations pointed the incident was due to a workplace dispute. The suspect has been taken into police custody. A planned attack targeting the recent UFC event at the White House was reportedly intercepted by the U.S. Federal Bureau of Investigation. 5 individuals involved were arrested. According to the FBI, the group was planning to strike nearby buildings using drones and shoot attendees to infiltrate the White House. The plot was uncovered 4 days before the event after one of the suspect's mother told law enforcement. Holy Bakay, IBC News.
And before we wrap up tonight's newscast, we bring you the results of the PCSO's 9 p.m. lottery draws. For the Grand Lotto 655, the winning combination is 55, 31, 46, 37, 48, and 1 with a jackpot price of 45 million pesos. For the Mega Lotto 645, the winning numbers are 34, 35, 9, 10, 19, and 32 with a jackpot price of 65,011,179 pesos and 41 centavos. For the 4D Lotto, the winning combination in exact order is 5, 5, 6, and 6. For the 3D Lotto, the winning numbers are 5, 1, and 3. And finally, for the 2D Lotto draw, the winning numbers are 7 and 26. There is no winner for the Mega Lotto 645 and the Grand Lotto 655. Tomorrow, the 18th of June, the Senate will hold its pre-trial conference for Vice President Sara Duterte's impeachment case. Duterte and her counsel, as well as the House public prosecutors, are expected to attend before the Senate impeachment court to address pre-trial matters. Meanwhile, the new majority has agreed to designate Senator Francis Chis Escudero as the presiding officer for the upcoming trial.
Also tomorrow, the Office of Civil Defense, along with key government bodies, will conduct the second quarter nationwide simultaneous earthquake drill. Starting at 9 a.m., all institutions in the country are encouraged to participate in the activity, which aims to promote preparedness not only against earthquakes, but also in all disasters.
Yes, Angela, and now that so many earthquakes are happening all over the world,
Yes.
I think it's really important that we are prepared for this type of calamity because this is something that does not have any physical manifestation that we can prepare for.
And the drills are always a good refresher because you never know where you will be.
Yes, when
the
it
earthquake.
hits. Yes. And those were the latest from the IBC newsroom this evening.
We'll continue to monitor the stories that matter and give you updates as they develop. I'm Angela C.
And I'm William Thio. This is 13 News. Thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.